bionexus status, we created another tier below bionexus status as bio-based accelerator program. Okay, so many startup companies who have intention to adopt biotechnology processes and whatnot will be able to actually come on board via this program called bio-based accelerator program. So this will actually make the community even bigger, because currently bionexus company are only about 250 companies. It's not easy to get because it's very strict requirement. But now with bio-based accelerator program that we introduced about 2 years ago, we intend to actually recruit about 100 companies annually. So with this big community, we can do a lot of activities, and they will be synergistic between the companies there. Okay, so with these two programs, we hope to intensify the investment in biotechnology, be it from local company or from international company. Okay, next one. Right. So when we talk about biotechnology, it's quite correct, but what is stated in the National Biotechnology Policy, the areas that we are supporting, the sector that we are supporting are three main areas. I think when I browse through IUMW also, you are looking into these three areas, which are agriculture, industrial, and healthcare. I think the component in each sector, you know better than me. I'm not a science person, but a lot of activity actually revolve around these three main sectors. So the government recognized that biotechnology is one of the main drive that can actually contribute to the higher income of the nation. So activities in these three sectors are very, very important, because research and innovation will directly boost the three sectors, and of course it will contribute to the economy of the country. Yeah. So these are the focus areas. Next slide. Okay, I mentioned about the number, the statistic, yeah? Only 250 companies, because the requirement is quite strict. And if you look at the contribution of companies among these three sectors, you can see that a lot of companies are actually in the agriculture area, yeah? At biotech, 140 companies, healthcare 68, and bioindustrial 42. Hence, there are many activities under the Ministry of Agriculture. A lot of activities, because the existing companies right now, they wish to adopt biotechnology to create efficiency in their processes and in their production. So we really need talent in biotechnology to help the businesses to actually accelerate and create innovativeness in the process of production, in the process of creating new products and things like that. Okay, so the figure down there is actually the investment amount of each areas in healthcare, industrial, and also at biotech. When we talk about investment, meaning how much money company put in the biotechnology business. Okay, next one. Right. In doing this also, as I mentioned, we are not doing this in isolation. Bioeconomic Corporation partners with many other agencies like SME Corp, yeah, the agency are looking into SMEs. We partners with a lot of other agencies like MTDC, the funding agencies, so that we have a conducive ecosystem to help the businesses. And one of our partners is, of course, the laboratories around Malaysia. If you look at this slide, there are 42 labs, accredited labs around Malaysia that are currently partnering with Bioeconomic Corporation. So how do we leverage on these 42 labs? Okay, you guys love to work in labs, right? So we actually, in 2007 and like circa 2007, 2008, like that, we got money from the government to help the laboratories, help in terms of, you know, maintenance of the machines, equipment, and whatnot. So in return, what they look to do is that they should offer their services to businesses at a, you know, at a cost which are reasonable. So they are obliged to actually offer services which are not commercial rate, to help the startup companies, to help SME to grow. So for example, if you're a business owner, you are doing a cosmetic, and then you come to Bioeconomy Corporation and say, well, Nora, I already produce a skincare, for example, but I need to do, you know, some irritation tests to make sure that, you know, people who use the cream will be safe from irritation and whatnot. So what we do in Bioeconomy Corporation is we advise the company, oh, you should go to this lab and this lab because they provide, you know, the services of, you know, this kind of analysis and whatnot. So this is how we help businesses in biotechnology. So they can come to us and ask us, you know, what kind of, because some people, they have money, they intend to do businesses, but they don't know what they should be consider, what they should consider in producing a competitive product. They just cannot, you know, produce product without looking at the safety side of it, the quality and things like that. So a lot of other activities that we do with our partners. In fact, these 42 labs also provide trainings for the companies. Okay, next slide. Right. So this is a continuation of what we do, product development and certification program. So if you are a business owner, you do a product, you don't do only one product. You do, I'm sure you want to increase your SKU, yeah? If you produce skincare, you want to produce lipsticks after that. It's only wise to have many products so that, you know, you have many, you offer many choices to your customer. So how we work is that if you need new product formulation, we also work with the lab in coming out with new product. In fact, when you have one product, you need to improve one product, we also offer product improvement. But we don't offer, Bioeconomy Corporation does not offer product development services, but we link you to the lab, okay? And of course, regulatory services where, you know, companies who produces, for example, health supplement and things like that, they wanted to have claims, we will actually help them to register their company with the respective regulatory authorities. And we also assist companies in getting halal certification, GMP, HACCP, and whatever the requirement are. Okay, next slide. Okay, these are some of the brochures, our recent brochures, where we help companies in getting their product more more compelling, yeah. Product development, lab tested. We have halal boost program on and also e-halal clinic. Some people, they don't even know where and how to actually apply for halal, yeah. So we are here actually to provide facilitation on those areas. Okay, next one. Okay, business advisory. Always, from my experience and also our observation, the main two challenges, major challenges for businesses in biotechnology, not just biotechnology, I think any other business also, is always funding. It's always funding and market access. Okay, I think we move to the next slide. We pass this one away. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I jumped to funding. I'll be talking about community engagement and market access. So besides helping companies in their businesses, we do a lot of community engagement and market access activities as well. So how does it do? It is in one of our mandate also to help community to earn additional income. So one of the way of doing this is that we do community connect. Yeah? The branding is community connect, where we will call researcher, product innovator to speak to a certain community, like single mothers community or a community of certain area. Well, if you can see here is that penghasilan produk hiliran daripada industri peternakan madu kelulut, correct? So Encik Muhammad Razif has actually been speaking about, how to start a kelulut business, how to do that around your area. So mungkin a community of a certain place will learn this from Encik Muhammad Razif, and at the end of the day, what we expect is that that community will replicate the program introduced by Encik Muhammad Razif, and for them to be able to generate additional income. Okay, and for example, another example is Hala Tuju Cendawan, Malaysia. Here, Encik Azhar actually teaches people how to reach cendawan. Yeah, so a lot of people don't try to find what to do in getting additional income. So these are the platform that we created so that communities, so that individuals can actually have access to technology so that they can do business for their additional income. Okay, so we do a lot of community engagement. Okay, next slide. Okay, funding facilitation. This is what I want to talk about. So I have to repeat. One of the major challenges by businesses is, of course, funding. So on top of having our own funding program, we also link businesses with other financial development institutions like, MDB, MIDF, and Sami Bank. And of course, we are under Kementerian Pertanian, we have Agrobank. But then what we do in Bioeconomy Corporation, when businesses come, we do look at their nature of activities, then we will link them to the right funding entities. If you are do pertanian, of course, you have to go only certain funding institution will actually accommodate that, right? So we do that. We actually have a landscape of funding landscape which we map to ensure that every single business are able to be helped with the funding landscape that we have. Yeah, so we do have our own funding also, but of course it is offered to Bionexus Status Company and also Biobase Accelerator Programs Company. And besides that, for researcher who have good innovation, good product, good ideas, we will help them to raise capital. We do this via crowdfunding. So we work with Ataplus, Crowdplus Asia, for example, and we managed to actually raise capital for them. So how it goes is that they will do the pitching. Individuals with money who are attracted, for example, you have research on health supplement, and I have money. And from the pitching that I heard, it is going to give you good return. So despite instead of putting money in Amanah Saham Bumiputra, who are going to give you a flat rate of 5-6%, the idea that being pitched under the crowdfunding will give you more based on the pitching content. Yeah. So we help a few companies already in raising capital. So capital raising not necessarily come from the bank, but it also can be done via crowdfunding. The next one. Okay. Yeah, this is, I think, the next few slides are of your interest because we will be speaking about talent development. Okay. In National Biotechnology Policy, there are mandate on talent development. Obviously, because that is one priceless element for the industry. If you're familiar with SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, there are 17 goals that we need, the world need to achieve actually. So modern technology provide breakthroughs in products and technologies and will address aspect of sustainability, disease prevention, like now a lot of companies doing vaccine for COVID-19, and of course efficiency in manufacturing process. So all these elements are very, very crucial. So it is being adopted by the UN SDG is being adopted by 193 companies. Imagine that. So to them, modern technology is very, very important. In other words, biotechnology will be the survival tool in the coming years. So, of course, this will create high demands for well-developed talents and professionals in this area. So, if you're in biotechnology, if you are a biotechnology student, need not to worry because with SDG, the demand for talent in biotechnology is there, yeah, because each and every country are actually obliged to achieve the UN SDG. But again, if you look at my slide here, it's a well-developed talent. What does it mean by that? So well-developed talent is of course not just good in academic, but also in other areas. Yeah. So I will explain a little bit in the next slide. Okay. So I've mentioned about well-developed talents, right? Well-rounded talents is of course you have to be good in both scientific knowledge and also in critical soft skills. There is an article in Science Journal called Nature says that biotech employers are seeking talents that are not specialized in subject like chemistry, but also have knowledge in validation, data management, and good manufacturing practices. So it tells us that, okay, you are good at your academic, good in research, but you also need to have, you need also to be good in other areas. And if you look at this slide, develop critical soft skill. This is actually from Future of Jobs Survey, World Economic Forum. If you look at the title here, change in demand for core work-related skills for all industry. Yeah, this is not just for biotechnology. These are the skills that is required to tag along with your major. Yeah? The highest percentage is complex problem solving. So this is, and you can see the list there, other than what you are majoring at, what do you need to be having. Social skills is also important. So I think this is what we meant by well-rounded talent. So in order for, organization, entities, or even the government to employ you, you need to have an other critical soft skill tag along with your major in biotechnology. Okay, next slide. So some reality about talent development. So it is, I mentioned earlier, biotechnology is an enabler. So meaning it actually lives in many industries. It cannot be in just lab, yeah. It cannot be just in research institution or excellence center. If you look at the slide, if you look at the picture at your right hand side, there are pharmaceutical company, genomic and data science, bio ventures, venture funding, the government itself, academia, of course, hospital and device. So due to the need and demand for biotechnology currently and also future, there is a huge opportunities for you for employment and also for you to do businesses. Yeah. I give you some example. I don't know whether you're just thinking about, because in biotechnology there's a lot of lab activities, right? But look at the picture, the graphic on the right hand side. You can see bio ventures, right? So how can you contribute here? Venture funding. I want to explain about venture funding. So let's say you are in a venture funding company. So venture funding company is where you manage people's money. People with money, they just want to grow their money. Okay, so they are looking for businesses that can give high returns. So what venture funding do is that they collect people's money and they look out for businesses that will, you know, generate high profit. So you can be in this team also, because people with money, they don't have knowledge in biotechnology. So they need people with knowledge in biotechnology who can actually assess companies who are doing biotechnology aspect. So this is where I'm coming from. So you don't limit yourself just in labs or just in, universities, but you also can, um, plan yourself that, no, sorry, not plan, you can also think about of joining any other institution, but leverage on your knowledge in biotechnology. In fact, in government, like myself, I'm in bioeconomy. Bioeconomy is a government agency. So somehow or rather, the knowledge of biotechnology is very, very important in my responsibility currently, because my job is to help and to assist biotechnology companies. So again, I would like to emphasize, while research activities within the private sector in Malaysia is limited, not everybody grad from biotechnology will work in labs, right? So the need for talents to go beyond what you learn and beyond R&D is very, very important. So you need to actually equip yourself with other soft skills so that you'll be able to be around, you are actually flexible to be in any of this area. So yeah, in my slide, the last para is professionals are also needed in other sections of biotech ecosystem, including production, quality control, even legal documentation, regulatory affairs, in fact, marketing. You know, we need people with knowledge in biotechnology or bio-based to be able to market the relevant product. Yeah. Okay, next slide. Right. So enough of saying about, you know, what you need to equip yourself, what we offer in bioeconomy as far as talent is concerned. So we have a branding of Bio Academy, where in principle we matchmake industry players, meaning businesses in biotechnology, with graduates, with unemployed person. Yeah. So we have this program called BEST, BEST. So it is an employability program that requires 6-month apprenticeship, which comprise of 1 month training and also 5 month on the job training. So we will be placing you in biotechnology companies, where most probably the BioNexus status company that I mentioned, the 100 to 250 companies, or maybe the BBA companies, the second tier of the companies. So what you need to do is to undergo 1 month training and 5 months on the job training. Okay. But of course, there are qualifying criteria here. You need to be Malaysian. You can be either in diploma or degree, diploma and above, with a CGPA of minimum 3.0. You can be fresh graduate, or you can be somebody who have working experience, but it has to be less than 3 years. Your age must be 30 years and below, active in co-curricular activities, and of course, your speaking skills in English. Okay, so this is called BEST. Okay, next one. Oh yeah, we provide monthly allowance. Right, so again, this is BEST. It's a repetition. I think you can skip this one. Right. Another one is that under the government, under Penjana, I'm sure you're familiar with the word Penjana, we have a program called Bio Kerjaya. Again, this is also matchmaking between industry players and graduates. Okay. So my future agro is the linkages between company and individual. And the program is actually, if you look at the brochure here, at individual, you need not to be students, yeah, you can be just unemployed and also graduates, and you will get allowance over there. And okay, can we move to the next slide? This is actually to help to give assistance to those impacted by COVID. But I think, yeah, because of COVID, not many people can get employed and things like that. So we are implementing this to help, because this fund is actually out of the pandemic fund. So we are creating this program to help individuals who have no jobs. Yeah. Okay, this program, unlike the best 1 month training and 5 month on the job, this one is 3 days, 2 nights soft skill training, and the rest are of 3 days of technical training. So the technical training is actually based on the request of the company. If you look at the left-hand side, we have some examples of companies named like Biocon, you know, we have GK Aqua, Potenza. This is a company, these are companies who are actually putting their request to Bioeconomy Corporation. They say, okay, I need somebody with, you know, who have knowledge in tissue culture. So what we do is, you know, if you are graduates or unemployed individual, what we do is we create a program of tissue culturing, and we give you 3 days basic training on tissue culture, for example. Yeah. So it's a total of 6 training programs. Then later, we will send you to the company who requests for a person with knowledge of tissue culture. You have to do your on-the-job training with the company for 6 months. And there will be minimal, well, we call it allowance given to the individuals. Okay. Next one. Oh, talking about the program of Mind Pejana just now, if the company feels that you are, you know, of their quality, they like you, they can continue hiring you. So the government will actually cover 6 months of your allowance, but the 7 month onward is actually depending on the availability of vacancy in the company. And if the company likes you, you can continue working with them, then they pay you your salary. Yeah. So our obligation is for 6 months in helping individuals. Okay, moving forward, what we plan to do, I mentioned about the National Biotechnology 2.0 just now, a continuation of the National Biotechnology 1.0. But we are also in the midst of doing bioeconomy blueprint. So how is it different? National biotechnology is a policy. You know for a fact that policy is a very wide, huge principle. You know what we're going to see at the end of 10 years or 20 years. But bioeconomy blueprint will spell out the action plan, the strategy on how we're going to develop the industry. So it's a more detailed, it's a subset of a national biotechnology policy. So in here also, human talent is actually one big element. So my message here, or key takeaway from my slide here, is that you need not to worry. If you are worried, if you're not worried, I'm okay. Not to worry, because it is in the bioeconomic blueprint that talent development is key. Human capital is key in ensuring the success of the biotechnology sector in Malaysia. Okay, so this one we expect to be out in somewhere in 3rd quarter this year. So here we're not just talking about human capital, we're talking about everything that we need to do. So we are now gathering all the industry players and see where the gaps are, and we are trying to, you know, produce this so that for the next 10 years we will be able to implement the strategies and the action plan that we're gonna actually spell out in the bioeconomy blueprint. Okay, next slide. And of course, as an entity that is doing developmental work, we need to remain visible. So branding is important for us, because a lot of people, they don't know our existence. So moving forward, we will also we are promoting ourselves to the public to let the public know that, hello, we are doing this for the biotechnology industry. We will go to students, we will tell students we are here to actually help you on certain aspect. So we will actually accelerate the promotion of bioeconomic cooperation to enhance its visibility to the public. I think that's it for my presentation. Let me see, is there any other slides? No, thank you.